You found your family, you've set a date, but what now? My name is Ava. I have been an au pair for two families here in London in the past year, and I am gonna tell you what you need to know before you leave to become an au pair. The first thing is book your tickets. Now, one tip for booking plane tickets is book them during the day, during a weekday. So 11 a.m. on a Tuesday morning is probably going to be your cheapest ticket. Over the weekend, often, because most people book their trips on the weekend, oftentimes what will happen is the prices will go up on the weekend. So book your tickets during the day, during weekdays, and you'll get slightly better deals than on the weekend. Also, book your tickets in advance. They will definitely be cheaper than if you try to book anything last minute. Now, depending on where you live and where you're going, it might also be interesting to look at other options of travel, like a train or a bus or a boat. It might take a little bit longer, but it will probably be a lot cheaper than if you have to haul all your luggage on a plane, because luggage is expensive on a plane nowadays. I've taken every form of transportation between England and London, between the Netherlands and London at this point. I've taken the boat, the bus, the train, and the plane. I've taken the bus on the boat, I've taken the bus through the tunnel, so I've literally had every different version of transport you can do. I haven't actually flown to London as an au pair, just because I usually travel with a lot of luggage, and it is very expensive to fly with luggage. Whereas on the train, I get two big pieces of luggage for free. On the bus, I can take one and pay like £3 for a second bag. On the boat, I think I can take two for free. So this is also something that might be interesting to check out for you. It might not work if you're going from Europe to America, but if you, like me, go from like the Netherlands to England, or from England to France, or something that's a bit closer by, it might be a good idea. In terms of what to pack, clothes are very useful. But for me, I was like, I'm going to stay there for a year, so it's going to be slightly different than just packing for a holiday. So I might show you a few of the things that I brought that I brought here that you probably won't take when you are just going on holiday. So for one, I took my bathrobe, which means that when I get out of bed, the first thing I can do is put on my robe. I put all of my clothes in one of those like sealable bags to get the air out, if you know what I mean. What are they called? Vacuum bags. So I could bring more stuff. So yeah, bathrobe was one of those things. Another thing I brought was my wake up light, which I actually use as a light when I'm making these videos. I'll turn it up for a second. But yeah, this is my wake up light, especially when it's winter time. I love using my wake up light to wake up. And it's actually come in handy with these YouTube videos to use it as an extra light, because the light in this room sort of is at wrong angles for these videos. So I have loved having my wake up light here. Another thing, and I'm going to take you with me for a second, don't mind the mess because I wasn't planning on doing this, is I took a distribution plug, which I'm now not using that much anymore. So what I had the distribution plug. I originally didn't have this one, so I had this one plugged into the wall just with an extension, and that meant that I only needed one EU to UK extension, and I could just use all of my other USB plugs, which are so much smaller in the Netherlands or in the rest of the EU than they are in the UK. So for me, those are the three main sort of non-clothing items that I took. Obviously, I also took like my laptop, my tablet, my e-reader, all of the electronics. Because I've been back and forth a few times, every time I'll take something extra with me. Nowadays, I mostly just take food with me though, whenever I go home. Because I miss Dutch food. I mostly just miss Dutch bread. I'm getting off topic. Something else that is a good idea to bring is pictures from home. Now, I don't have any, because I'm not really attached to pictures like that. But if you've got a nice picture of your family that you want to take with you, definitely do that. Another thing to pack is presents for the children. It isn't necessary to bring presents for the children, but it is always nice to have the kids be excited about your arrival, because in some cases they might not be, they might be shy at first, so it's a good way to sort of win them over with a good present. Something from your home country, could be food related or just a toy. So for this family I brought a book. It's a Dutch book. I've been meaning to translate it, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. Might have to do that before I leave, whenever I leave. And I brought a memory game with the same characters as in the book, so that sort of tied in together, and obviously some Dutch stroopwafels. And lastly, a few things to think about is health insurance or travel insurance. I think you can get travel insurance that covers health as well. Yeah, your travel insurance will cover health as well. You might need to get a special travel insurance that does like an entire year, because a lot of travel insurances have like you can only be out of the country for so many days at a time. But there are special travel insurances for people who are going to a different country for a year and working abroad. So have a check on Google what visa will work for you, for your situation and in the country you're going to. Another thing is visas. Don't forget a visa. In a lot of countries you will need one. Just if you're staying in the EU, you're lucky and you don't need one. But for most countries you will need a visa, and you will need to apply for that in advance. You can't just do that in a couple of days. Generally it takes a while to get all of that sorted. Another thing before you leave that's a good idea is to set up a online bank account like Revolut. My first host family used Revolut, so they introduced me to it, and it's an online bank. And the great thing about Revolut is that you can have free money transfers between all the currencies. So for free I can transfer my euros to pounds and my pounds back to euros if I'm going to visit my family. The great thing about Revolut is that it's a Visa card. It's a debit card, but it's a Visa debit card. So you can pretty much pay everywhere except in the Netherlands. Definitely open a Revolut account before you leave, which means you can just get the card sent to your parents' house or wherever you're living, and it means you can put some of your money onto the Revolut account and transfer it to whatever you need it to be for wherever you're going. And that means that you've got money to spend before you get your first paycheck. If you've got any tips for people becoming an au pair, things that they need to think about before they leave, please leave them down below, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.